Hello, I hope that you are having just the best day in your life today, folks. Today we're going to be taking another look at the Philip K. Dick Selected Short Stories collection that we've been taking a deep dive into. We're going to be looking at the mid-50s short story, The Days of Perky Pat, which was a nice bristling 26 pages in my oversized collection here. It took me about 45 minutes for me to read it last night. I finished it last night for the first time, and I wanted to go ahead and bring it to your attention. I liked it. I'm going to be giving it an 8 out of 10. And I really enjoyed the ending, where Philip K. Dick changed things up and ended things in a way that I didn't predict, which is good. I'll link you to this collection in the comments below in case you're interested in checking out all of these various short stories that we've been doing for you, including The Days of Perky Pat. We'll also get you an opportunity to get caught up with this short story, which I enjoyed. So let's go ahead and get started with what happens in The Days of Perky Pat. So we're going to open it up and we're going to find out that we're a few years into the future after the Great War has ended. Radiation has hit. A lot of adults were lucky to survive. And they give themselves some names. Luckies, and they have formed clans around shelters where they survived in these fallouts. And they're about 7 or 8 shelters per city, and they're up in Northern California. And so there's a lot of world building that happens. We'll find out that they're getting supplies from Martians who are dropping these care ships over top of the various areas in these different regions and different cities, in these different communes that are based around the shelters. We're going to be introduced to some students who are born after this happened. And this happened years ago. And then we're going to have parents who are still being nostalgic about life before the bombs dropped. And so they have created a board game that they call Perky Pat, which is where the title of this short story comes from, The Days of Perky Pat. And and these adults escape reality by playing Perky Pat against each other. And it's an incredibly intricate game with Perky Pat, her boyfriend interest in spinners, game boards, designs, homes. It's kind of like the game of life with Perky Pat as your main character. It's pretty cool. And there's a lot of detail about the game from Philip K. Dick that you'll learn. And so that's the short story, about 8 pages or so into it before the stuff starts to change and things start to happen, and you'll learn more about the world and other things that are happening, other strangers and that sort of thing. But you'll get a sort of a good feel for the world and the things that the Martians drop and how they're getting their food and that sort of thing in this sort of post-apocalyptic thing. Now, I always have a soft spot for post-apocalyptic works. I enjoy sort of, beyond the bomb dropping sort of stuff. So I definitely probably have a bit of a soft spot for this short story. I enjoy it a lot. It's, again, just 26 pages long. It took me about 45 minutes for me to read for the first time last night for you. I think it's fun. Great ending. Surprised me. And, that's the Philip K. Dick's credit. And this guy is he's Philip K. Dick, right? He's one of the most influential writers in science fiction history. So I'm sure you know who he is. I won't spend that much time going over his biography, but he regularly writes his works in one sitting. He would just sit down and just write and just write and just write. And that gives his work a kinetic energy because they're not planned, they're not designed, right? They're not outlined. He just sits down when he's inspired and writes it, and he just hacks it out. But the problem with that is that they can sometimes be inconsistent. So he has this kinetic energy, and his best works are great. But I can remember my first novel I read about him had some inconsistencies. It was a time travel story, and how it introduced time travel at the beginning was different with how it introduced it at the end with what had happened. So you get these sort of inconsistencies in Dick works too, unfortunately. So that means that unfortunately this guy's talented, but not all of his works are created equal. Some of his works are much better than others. but that's just how it is. And this guy he was prodigious. He just wrote, just really prolifically, short stories and novels. And so it will take you a while to read all of his stuff. But I'm enjoying my deep dive into his stuff so far. And I enjoyed the story, and want to bring it to your attention. So that is Miss Perky Pat and her short story for you. Have you read it? What did you think about it? Did you agree or disagree with my take on it? I would be more than happy to engage you with it further in the comments below. If you like this video, why not hit that subscribe button? There's going to be so many more of these to follow in fantasy, science fiction, and horror. And finally, hey, I just want to thank you for taking some time out of your day and investing it in watching my video. We all have so many things that are happening in our lives, and we're being pulled in so many different directions. So the fact that you spent this time with me is incredibly humbling, and I appreciate it. So thanks again, and have a great day.